Hola everyone! Today's game review is going to be about the one and only Super Mario Maker 2. This game wasn't suggested by anyone, but Limelife asked me if I could do some Mario content, so I hope this one satisfies you and everyone else too. Also, if you want me to do a review on a game, just put them down in the description and I might check it out and do a review about it. All the levels that I will be showing in this game review will have a code located in the corner, just if you are interested in playing any of them that I show. And also, if you are interested in playing traditional levels, I have a super world that you might like.
Shameless plug over.
But let's cut to the chase. Is this game really worth purchasing? Is this truly a great game? Well, we are about to find out. Grab your tools, ready your platforming skills, because you are watching TheRubenazo, Spaniard Reviews Super Mario Maker 2. Let's go! Due to the relatively great success of the first Mario Maker on Wii U, a sequel needed to be made. And so, for the next gen system, the Nintendo Switch, they decided to release Mario Maker 2 the 28th of June of 2019, 2 years after the Switch's initial launch, making the Wii U, again, more obsolete than it was ever before. That's a lot of dust. Although this time you will need to pay a subscription if you want to play this game, because all its core features and where the most enjoyment resides is in its online functionality. A broken one, but I will explain it later. Story mode places you in the boots of Mario and his mission to restore Peach's castle by finishing jobs, obtaining money, and rebuilding the castle with the same coins you obtain through the game. This mode should be seen as a distraction from the main content, a helpful aid to understand what each object inside the level editor can do and to understand how Mario controls. But if you want it, you can absolutely skip this and go straight to the level editor. Although there's one problem. This is supposed to be a teaching tool, right? Then why are these objects here if they do not show up in the editor? I do not understand why it's not available. Less for us, more for them, I guess? Really arbitrary and nonsensical decision from the dev team. Why show something players cannot use? The level editor allows the player to build their masterpieces by giving to the user un huevazo of features. By pressing Y, you will be thrown in a selection wheel where you can search by different categories. And it's as simple as choosing it and placing it on the level. And also you can pin the object you are going to use a lot by holding the A button. Choosing a style and theme is easy as well. By the press of a button, you can change the game style or the place the level takes in. Except for 3D World, which requires you to reset the entire level. There's also the option to add sounds, increase or decrease the timer, add auto-scroll. This tool is something really great. Its simplicity allows players of all ages to get a grasp of the editor. The amount of content it offers is intimidating at first, but it doesn't push you. You can learn at your own pace. See what something does, and try to come up with an idea using the same object. But if it's still too intimidating, there's always the choice to go over a really insightful and helpful guide on doing levels, from beginner tips to advanced. And you actually learn quite a lot. If you have a dream of being a game designer or level designer in the future, you should check this game for sure. But besides levels, there's a way to unite them into a complete campaign, and it's the World Maker. In here, you can place levels you have already uploaded in order, set the layout, change themes, number of lives, and once you have a world done, you can always upload it, which will show on your maker profile. This allows individual levels to be a part of something greater and helps achieve a better understanding of what levels can offer. But you need at least 2 levels to make a world, and you can only have 1 world uploaded at a time. What a weird restriction. Finishing a world is no easy task, but once you're done, the last step is to upload it, of course. Once you do, check Course World. You'll see what Mario Maker 2 is all about, sharing and playing worlds or levels around the globe. You can go over courses, check leaderboards, play with random people or with friends, or play endlessly with the Endless Challenge, test your speedrun abilities with Ninji Speedruns, take a trip into super worlds, or search the ID of a level you saw somewhere else. In both courses and leaderboards, there's multiple subsections that allow the user to search through desired levels. Maybe you want to see hottest levels of the week, or you want to see what people recently came up with. Or maybe you want to check the top creators of all time and learn from them by playing their levels, or check what your friends on Switch made recently. It's up to you to enjoy Mario Maker 2 however you want. As for myself, well, I also check in HOT, and I check my friends' levels. Especially Tino and Kurubake. They just make really amazing levels, and I thought of giving them a shout out. So if you can, just check their profiles. They make really great stuff. The online play of this game is far from desirable though. It is pretty common to encounter a match that takes ages to finish, with freezes in between because the online infrastructure is not server-based, but P2P, which itself generates quite a few problems. If there's 4 people in the room and each one is from a different country, you bet the chances of slowdown and freezes will be quite abysmal. For a better experience, it's just better to play with friends that are close to you, or that at least have a good connection. And even if you can play with randoms or friends, although the game first released without being able to play with friends, which is actually mind-blowing and shines a light into Nintendo not understanding how online should work, the P2P structure makes this mode, one that should have been a critical point in development, a joke, and the worst part of this entire package. A quite easy fix is just to pair people by country and connection first. If not, pair them with the closest country. This fix, even if it's still P2P, will reduce the pain of online multiplayer by a bunch. Another problem with this game is endless mode, which by itself is a really great way to sink a few hours if you don't feel like choosing the levels yourself or making one. Just select it, choose a difficulty, and you are done. You will be given random levels until you die or you played enough. The problem doesn't come from the idea of an endless mode, but the content distributed. Nintendo is the most family-friendly if you compare it with Xbox or PlayStation, and it just draws the most casual crowd. And you know what I'm going for, right? With one good level, there's like 5 bad ones. And the easier the difficulty, the most likely you're going to get hot garbage. This is a huge problem Nintendo hasn't tried to fix, or at least help in some regard, and it subtracts the total enjoyment this mode can offer. One solution that might be too harsh for some of you is an age filter. Levels made by 13 years old or younger will only show to these youngsters, and the opposite for us just by reading the birthday of the profile in the Switch. This will substantially remove the amount of hot garbage most players will get and would improve a bit the enjoyment of endless mode. Young kids don't have standards, and probably won't care about what they play, so it's a win for both in my opinion. Then there's Super Worlds, which lack the option to search by filters. And it's not understandable. There's always a way to implement filters, and doing the bare minimum when implementing a new feature says a lot about the development this game had. You will need to repeatedly refresh worlds until you see one made by a user that at least has 2k hearts. Speaking of experience, a better way to enjoy this feature is to search worlds in communities related to this game, like in subreddits or in Twitter, anywhere else. It will be easier for you and the enjoyment will be greater. Just find a maker profile and play it. And finally, there's Ninji Speedruns, which is all about speedrunning. Beat the most recent official level as fast as possible to win nothing. Yeah, you will get a few stars floating around with your Mii, but it doesn't really give you something substantial worth your time and effort. There's nothing that sticks with you forever, just something temporary. By playing and building, you might be able to obtain medals, which are like little achievements. Getting tons of plays in your level and obtaining a medal for weekly maker surely is rewarding, but there's a catch. Those medals aren't there forever. They will be gone once more people surpass you, and I do not get it either. What's the point of a medal system if you're going to take it from the people that obtain it in the first place? It does more harm than good, and encourages unhealthy behaviors. And I'm saying unhealthy, because something related happened to me. When the game first came out, I began to play Endless Normal, and seeing that I was at the top 1000, I decided to grind. Yes, grind in this game, by playing day after day after day, trying to go from bronze to silver to gold. And I almost got sick of the game, so I decided to call it quits and ignore the medals. Keeping the medals after obtaining them, or just getting rid of it and changing it for a more standard achievement system would have avoided this very issue. There's other miscellaneous stuff that just doesn't add to the value of the game, like the ability to change the maker's appearance, and you get new stuff by completing hidden achievements. Stop right there. I know what you're going to say.
But Ruben, you said moments ago that the medal system should be replaced by an achievement system. Aren't clothes the achievement themselves?
And it's a great point. But when it comes to it, clothes aren't targeted as an achievement, but more of an unlockable. It's not a list of what you did and can accomplish, just a random reward you obtain by arbitrary goals that aren't even shown. That's why it's not a proper achievement. If you're planning to purchase the game, you need to remember the support that this game has received. The 3.0 update, or more commonly known as the World Map update, was released in April 2020, and it was officially stated as the last update. Some official sources are stating that this game received the final major update, and some others just saying the final update. So I'm just going to take the worst case scenario here. The game is not going to get any updates. Maybe bug fixes, but that's it. Mario Maker 2 is a really great tool to sink tons of hours, maybe learn some level design tips, play a few amazing levels made by random creators on the internet, or make your own game. It's great stuff, honestly. But because of how Nintendo approached the online functionality, the non-existent filters in Super Worlds, the problem with the level distribution and endless mode, and the support this game has received over all these months, I wouldn't recommend this game. For $60. At the end of the day, this is just like a glorified dev tool turned into a game. And I will honestly pay between $40 to $50 just because this just doesn't nearly reach the $60 price tag they ask you. But when it comes to score, I can absolutely give this game a 9 out of 10. If Nintendo was more supportive of this title, knew how to actually work on a good online framework, and help the community by filtering hot garbage, I will give it a 10 out of 10. But this game relies heavily on experience. My experience from day one with this game and the enjoyment I got are going to be totally different because of how lucky or unlucky you can be with the levels you play, and thus your experience might be worse or better. But what score would you give it? Is there something I missed? Did you like my review? If so, comment, subscribe, and if you don't want to miss any uploads, consider hitting the bell as well. Thank you for suggesting a video, Limelef. See you everyone. Adios.